Alright, so here we are during lunchtime. I can't stop playing with this. It's so nice. I'm having so much fun. I don't even have time to make a video. Um, so if you don't mind, I'm doing this while I'm playing with it. So I've had it for a couple of days or 3 days or so now. And I've been playing with the presets just to see how the buttons work, because I don't really read manuals unless I have to look up something, but I don't read them A to Z. So I start with patterns and observe what they're doing, and I take it from there. So what I came up with here is, let me mute here the groups, as they call it, and so a very nice drum pattern. It's a little bit modified, but it's pretty much in there. And you don't have to look at this at all. The more you look at it, it's nice to look at, but there's no need for it. And your brain goes into a different stage when you just look at the machine. But what I wanted to show you guys is this arranger window. That's sort of like Ableton. And you can see I got scene 4 here. Let me turn down the volume. I got scene 4, and scene 4 compromises of variations of these groups here. So I'll have a bass here, and I have a percussion pattern and so forth here. And each scene is basically a conglomerate of a combination of different patterns per each instrument. So I guess you can call a group an instrument. I would say this is sort of like Ableton, but look at it like this, where this would be the tracks, right? So there's like the way to look at it that way. So would that make sense? Yeah, I guess so. So now you got Ableton Live, sort of, without the time stretching, but that's okay, because we can use it as a plugin in Ableton Live, and in Logic or what else not. So not having to do with time stretching and all that is pretty much a blessing. But I can predict that the native instruments can do this. You know, this is version 1.03 right now. They can, in version whatever 2.0, they can add all that. It's a huge program anyways, as long as the quickness and the stability doesn't suffer from it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. So as you can see, I'm not sure if through the camera you can see that one button actually blinks stronger than the other, but let's say I have a guitar pattern here that you can see here what's enabled and what's not enabled. So I have my 8 instruments here, and they're enabled. All right, and then if I press on pattern for that instrument, I have 4. That's actually right now the drum parts. I have 4 different drum parts, and then I switch to my guitar part. I have 2 different guitar parts. This window gives you much more information on one at one look, which is great as a reference, as a studio tool if you work in there. By the way, the exporting function is great. You can export files, and you can export the master. You can export groups. So basically, the patterns that are playing, I selected 2 patterns just right now for you, so it would export those 2, which is great. I'm not sure. I can't change this right now, but if I would, let's say, if I would have more enabled, let's say. I'm enabling, sorry about the wobbly camera, because I'm doing this sort of one-handed. So I got 4 enabled, and then I go back to the export function, and I go to groups. Look at that, it gives me the option of all 4. It gives me loop optimized. If you have a delay, it'll calculate the delay into the beginning of the loop. Very, very cool. Extremely cool, this thing. Oops, I pressed export by accident. Holy lordy, holy lordy. Wow. So, if you look at my desktop here, sorry about that, see here are the files. Yeah, they all came bounced out. I like that a lot. So, let's close this. I got sidetracked. So, mute is something very cool. You can work very intuitively, and let's start the guitar pattern. It's a phrase, a pattern that's in there that I modified a little bit, took out a couple of notes, and added some effects. I think I added, well, let's have a look at it. Let's look at this. There's the guitar blues. The effect one I'm using is a flanger. It's called Jet, and then I'm using a simple delay. So, and here's the actual phrase. Obviously, for guitars, this mode is not very good. You need the keyboard mode. So, and then you can see the samples are. So basically, if you play a phrase, if you record it and then it gets chopped up, each button, right? So that's in essence the phrase that's there that you will be hearing. Let me give you, there's like another pattern here. Selecting this pattern, pattern 1, that's actually that original phrase. It sounds much cooler with the effects. A meter, gotta keep an eye on the meter. Here's how it sounds. Alright, and then let's add some percussion. How'd you like that? There you go. And then you got the scenes. And the cool thing is you have the scenes. The scenes are basically variations of your whole song. And scene 1. Check this out. So here I can jump into the scenes. Very cool. At the beginning I was like, what the heck? See? And then you can tell it when it's gonna jump at the beat, or you know, when the thing is done playing. So you have a complex one. Scene 3. Obviously it has to finish it playing, that's the way I set it up. Alright, almost there. Almost there, it's gonna jump. Almost done here. And so it's really cool, and then you can just solo something. Look at that. That's somebody signing in here on a messenger. You can solo something else. So the solo function is really cool. And here we got a synthesizer. Look at that. So this thing works really good. That's my first look at Native Instruments Maschine, and I'm having a lot of fun. Take care. Out.